It's like we just จ๋าเรา lemon. Like literally when people eat they legit like they're like, oh my god, Oreos, and then eat like a whole pack of Oreo and have no idea. Like they didn't even enjoy it. They just like inhaled it. So if we were to teach you mindfulness eating of this lemon, you're like, you see it? You're like, yeah, I clearly. You know what color it is? Clearly. You're like, yeah, well, play with it. And then you basically feel it and you're like, ooh, it's kind of cold. And that feels kind of squishy and weird. That's, we're training you to be mindful about everything that you're doing. And you're like, go ahead and smell it. You're like, ooh, lemonade. And then taste it. And you're like, ooh, right? And then now put it down. And then so you're fixated on that subject, that object, okay? And then everything that you do, actually Vietnamese, when we use chopsticks, the same way. We know exactly what we're doing. And just enjoy your meal. What is the importance of enjoying a meal? Well, simple. Eat slow and enjoy every bite. Why? Because you never know when you're gonna eat again. You can go out and boom, dead. When was the last meal she ate? Did she enjoy it? We don't know. Well, hit the camera, rewind it. She just took that whole bowl and just. She ate faster than truck drivers. We apply this. We apply this, the mindfulness thing, in everything. And even in the Buddha, in Vipassana meditation, into the suttas, even the Buddha said, be mindful when attending to nature's call. So technically that means, well, I don't want to say it because we're in a restaurant setting, right? But yeah, when people go into the bathroom, are you actually enjoying going to the bathroom? I have to stop my students and ask them that. And I'm like, or I have a student that grabs his phone and he plays music so loud you can hear it from the outside of the door. And I'm like, what? Are you partying there as you're doing this? What's happening? You know what I mean? So people misconstrue the word mindfulness with like that they don't know what is it. So when you're sitting right now, do you feel your bum on the chair, and you're like, huh? You know, analyze the cushion, and you're like, wait, I think my left cheek is a little bit heavier than my right cheek right now because that's me right now. I'm talking about me, okay? And then when I say mindfulness of posture, and then we realize, oh, we're just slumping right now, and we're like, okay, all right, well, let me straighten back out. So Alex back there, see, I don't teach Vipassana a lot. It's because it has to go through a series of academic understanding of it before you go into this advanced level meditation. But there's the four foundation, which is Gaya, Vedana, Chitta, Dhamma. Gaya is mindfulness of the body. So when you sit, you know, you're sitting, and the whole time we've been sitting, your bum goes to sleep, and you have no idea it went to sleep until you're like, what? Until you stand up, you realize something is asleep. So that's why mindfulness is. It's very simple. But when you trained, I'm pretty sure when you do your job and when you're dealing with victims and stuff like that, that you're really mindful in the moment with them when you're hearing their story and you're taking notes. That's you're actually fully enlightened in those moments. So when you're working out and you realize, oh, this is 20 pounds, you're pulling up the weight, and if you're in the moment of that weight, or you're feeling the burn as you're in the gym, that's your enlightenment. Literally, that is nirvana in those moments. But once that moment is over and you think about paying bills again, that's why the Buddha says, don't even cling on to peace.
Yeah, because it's fleeting.
It's fleeting.
Yeah.
It's always fleeting.
But then, it's funny that you say that mindfulness is the enlightenment, because sometimes, like, when I am focused on something, like, especially, like, through, like, strenuous pain or whatever, I'm like, God, this shit sucks so much.
It's actually simple. You see, it's the true nature of the human body to produce pain, yes or no?
Yep.
That's it. And pain serves as a warning. So the pain's like, hey, dude, you need to change your posture, or you need to put that weight down. It's a little too heavy. So the deal with pain is that we compound our suffering with existence of suffering. So meaning we make it ours. This is where the practice of the non-self and the ego comes in, which is, I'm hurting right now. My back hurts. my arm is aching. It burns when I work out. Again, back to the me in the eye. If you notice the me in the eye,
Yeah.
and then so we're compounding the suffering on top of the existing of the pain. If you just see the pain for what it is, which is, if I'm gonna like do this all day, I'm gonna get tired.
Yeah.
Well, then why would I beat myself up over doing this? Stop doing it.
Yeah.
And then realize that, oh, well, or if I'm sitting here for 5 hours, I realize my body's telling me to just move, dude.
Yeah.
So back there, you guys got a glimpse of when I was sitting and my leg went to sleep, and I said, look, even the monk's leg went to sleep.
Yeah.
Was to show you the suffering nature of the human body, which is the transient nature of the human body.
That's interesting. No, the reason I asked that is because, like, last week, again, my friend and I went on a hike, and the reason we went on this hike was because it's a very strenuous hike in general. It's less than a mile, but the elevation increases up to 2,000 feet in that 0.8, and it's going up like vertically essentially. It's 2,798 steps. It's this incline. The reason I wanted to do it was because I wanted to replace the memory I had doing it with him with like a different experience. But I just remember when I got into like 200 steps, I'm like, God, this shit hurts. Why did I fucking do this? And I'm like, why doesn't anyone ever tell me to stop doing stupid shit, like putting my body through pain? But I did it. I mean, I always finish, but it's just like I always find myself being really hyper-focused or like, but then I'm like in the middle of like heavily breathing and trying to like altitude and all this stuff. I'm like, slow down. See what's around you. Enjoy how fucking high you are. You can see the fucking city. But God, this shit sucks. Get up there, finish. But then I'm just like, wait. I turned back to see like the whole city, and I was like, it's nice.
Breathtaking.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck, I have more steps.
but that's where the problem lies. Is that you weren't in the moment. You worried about, especially when it comes to hiking and nature, is that we always look forward to, oh my God, how much more do I have left?
Yes.
Right? And then we don't yield to the body, which is in Vietnamese, nhường. The word yield and in Vietnamese, nhường, is so profound because my teacher told me that. When I told my teacher I had like, at the time of my training, I told him I had low blood pressure and whatever, and he just looked at me, he's like, it's okay. Cái nhường cho nó. He basically told me to yield to your body. Yield to it, like a deer. A deer, when the deer gets sick, the deer just finds a tree and just kind of lay there, just relax, just all right. And just they will try to resolve their physical ailments, versus us humans taking a pill to resolve it.
Yeah, and we try to fight it sometimes.
Fight
too.
it.
Yeah.
So when we're hiking or something like that, and we think we're macho woman or man, and we're like, I've got to finish these. No, you don't. But just sit and relax, drink a Gatorade, and then go back to it in like 10 minutes.
Huh.
I've hiked, so I know. North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. So, but yeah, this is one of the things is like, if you had followed the methods of the Buddha, you would realize you would be so wise about it and intelligent about it. You would never beat yourself up along the way, and you're missing the point.
Yeah.
The point of going here is to enjoy nature, and you're doing the total opposite. You actually brought your own hell with you.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think I found myself in that dilemma because I'm like, because I always see people go stop and smell the roses, and that's the thing. My friend was also like, hey, do you want to beat our time? Do you want to run up? And I'm like, I'm not fucking running up this shit. Like, come on, girl. Like, hell no. Because people have trained to run up in 30 minutes. An average is usually an hour and a half. We finished it in 66 minutes. And that's with me slowing down and sitting and like, take a few breaths. Look at what you have around you, because I think because you're so scared because it's so high, people just look down there. They don't look up, and so I'm like, I have to slow down and try to take it in with some moderation, of course. Like, yeah, could I have sat there for 10 minutes? Totally, but I also didn't want to be the slow punk either. So I think that's always kind of where I find myself being stuck in that duality of like enjoy, but at the same time, like,
I was in a rush finishing. Let's just stop and smell the roses. You know, simple. It's a very simple concept. you know. And of course, your friends are probably like-minded as you, so of course, rushing and rushing just go hand in hand.
Yeah, like,
rather
come on,
than
we got this. I'm like, oh, fucking A, man.
Yeah.
Are you even looking at this shit?
it's encouraging, but it's too much sometimes. That's the extreme part. That's not the middle way when the Buddha taught. The Buddha says, you know, you can recalibrate along the way. You don't have to hold the standard so the way that it is. Again, how's that working out for you?
Ugh, interesting. I don't feel as bad now, so I do apparently understand mindfulness. Yeah, because that's what I do when I'm in a conference or when I'm like in meeting or training. I always notice where my feet is. I'm like, is it planted? Is it dangling? Am I tucking it somewhere? Like, I always notice my feet. That's the first thing I think about. How grounded am I? And there'd be times like I took both of my feet in the chair, so I'm like, oh, I'm floating right now. Like, I'm not grounded at all.
So if we just amplify what you already know by using breathing techniques or even walking or even whatever the activity you can choose tomorrow. Like, look, I want to like refine this particular activity and gear this towards mindfulness. I would do it with you. And once you master this thing, trust me, your life will change. Just that quick. So it need not to be sitting in silence. I'm glad you asked the questions that you did. It's because some people are like, what?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to sit forever. It's like, no, but you can do it now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why I asked you. It was like, I remember the story of the monk guy who became enlightened from sweeping. he was just sweeping.
Yep.
He wasn't meditating. He didn't even fuck. He was just sweeping. And that was his jam. And I'm like, no shit. I don't know, but I'm fine with walking. Like, walking was fine, and like you even said, like, it looks like you like art, like you'll slow down, and I was like, yes.
And read every word. And in those moments of you reading the biography of it, you're fully enlightened. That's what it feels like to be enlightened. And then once you take your eyes off of it, you realize, oh, next one. But in the moment of analyzing the picture and you see the details in depth and magnitude and you know the saturation and you just try to go back in time with the artwork and you realize, so beautiful, I can just cry right now, right? So
Yeah.
I learned a lot just coming with you and tagging along. Actually, I was the student. When I tag along with my student, it's because I want them to teach me what is it that I don't know. Or because I was missing information about you, the student. So I decided to tag along to be the student. And you actually became a teacher. So when actually you were in the moments, and I'm actually watching a fully enlightened being in those moments doing their thing. And I'm just gathering data, like, okay.
Well, and I think that's why a lot of people connect to you, is the fact that your one lecture that the monks usually do it for the mass audience, for everybody, doesn't really connect, because it's just a set lecture of like, we're going to talk about this specific topic, like mindfulness, and they're like, great, I've heard this one.
I'm going through a breakout. I am not about this right now.
Like, I am mind, like, I know my emotion, I'm in it.
You let me know when you talk about breaking up.
Yeah, like, I'll get back to you on that one. So yeah, no, I appreciate it. It means a lot.
So you think about what you want to do tomorrow. Let me know by 11, 10:30, 11 or something like that. So I will probably most likely conduct it anyways with Julia, just because I'm starting to learn. This is the first time I met Julia. So I'll probably see whatever it is that she wants. Maybe she's not opening up in a crowded setting. So it's up to you or not.
Well, if she wants some one-on-one time with you, I can always meet y'all up later. That's fine too.
I don't know what they're about.
Okay.
I don't know what students are about. They open up whenever they feel like opening up. It's my job to just do it.
How do you do with a group of like 10?
I just get a consensus. I'm like, who's got stress in their life? And like, go. And then they'll tell me, school, mom, dad, hate my teachers. Right? And then I start gathering collective data, and I just select the proper teaching that is universal for this group of 10.
Gotcha.
Because the Buddha gave us like a method of how to teach students to meet where they're at, make sure they remember what you say, and practice what you say. So But yeah, like less is more. That's why I didn't publish it.
I did see it. Well, but today I feel like we're almost in the same age range.
Mhm.
But what if it's like you have someone who's like in their teens as to someone who's like 37?
Easy.
Same
Funny study
bottom?
psychology.
I was like commonality.
And the one gal back in the museum was like, I don't know, 70.
Yeah. And
Piece
she
of
was-
cake. It's even easier.
She was
I
like-
have to know how to meet everywhere they're at with lifespan. My degree was in lifespan, which is from birth till death. So I have to. I'm like the general practitioner, family doctor.
Yeah, gotta know everything. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's approaching that time where I have to go back before it gets dark.
Yeah.
Typically that's 7-ish o'clock.
Sunday is at 8:23.
I know, but I have other stuff I gotta do.
Yeah. No, I know that because if I want to catch the sunset here, I try to find a good area to plant myself before sunset. That's what I do. That's why I've been looking up like when does the sunset?
Wow.
But
Go to John's Pass if you want to watch the sunset. John's Pass.
John's Pass. Okay.
Yeah.
I will probably.
So I'll wait for you to text me when you wake up what you feel like doing.
Okay.
But that's my intention for tomorrow.
It's a beach.
Yeah, John's Pass, whatever. Let me see it on your map. Is it showing up?
Yeah, it's. This.
There, there it is. Yep, John's Pass.
Okay.
You go there. You look at the west side of the water, and it's a breathtaking view.
Okay. I might do that.